Well, good morning, it's dawn in Puerto del Carmen. My favourite time of the day in the holiday resorts. It's just gone 7:30. I don't know whether you can see that. There's a Guardia Civil cutter patrolling along the seafront. The reason I like it this time of day is the resort's just coming to life, so I had an early appointment down here. I thought I'd bring you down and do some filming and show you what it's like here. I think one of the reasons I really enjoy this time of day is it takes me back to when we first moved to the island. In those days we lived up at the top of that road, and I used to come down first thing in the morning and get fresh bread from the spa shop there, which hasn't changed at all. It's exactly as it was 23 years ago. So we'll walk down the strip a bit and see what's going on and what's happening. Lots of people out running and power walking, getting their morning exercise. And hopefully we'll see the resort gradually come to life. Delivery trucks arriving and moving in and dropping off their stuff. There's one, a 7-Up truck, which will no doubt be delivering to one of the bars along here. I love this planting in Puerto del Carmen. It's been done beautifully with these trees since they remodeled the strip, and they're starting to look quite mature now. If you ever need a really early breakfast in any of the resorts, look out for a Salón de Juegos. Those are the kind of amusement arcade type places. They tend to open fairly early. You can grab a coffee and a croissant. This old beetle used to live on the strip when we first moved here, and it's still there. The hood looks a bit tatty these days, but I've no doubt they'll get it repaired. It's obviously still going strong after many, many years. Got some workers up ahead. Looks like they're clearing the drainage channels. Probably one of the pre-winter jobs that need to be done in case we get some rain this winter. In the middle of a real heat wave at the moment. Daytime temperatures mid-30s, which is very high for October. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to get out fairly early in the morning, because it's a quite balmy and comfortable 24 degrees at the moment. And if I was doing this at 11 or 12 o'clock, I'd be dripping with sweat and gasping for water. It's Wednesday morning. The heat wave's due to last until tomorrow or Friday, although looking forward it looks like we've got glorious weather for the next 5 or 7 days. I don't know whether the microphone will pick that up, but you can hear the birds are waking up in the trees along the front here. There's La Peñita in the background, a stalwart, one of the early accommodation places in Puerto del Carmen from many years ago. Been refurbed a few times over the years. Great position, literally just behind this front row of shops. Notice things when it's not so busy on the strip at this time of the day, like those Canarian balconies on that building, which I must have walked past tens of thousands of times and I've never noticed them before. So often you don't look up when you're walking along here. Got a swimmer out there taking an early morning dip. And I'm sure you won't be able to see it on the camera, but there's a little fishing boat out there as well. And I'm sure that cat would like to get his claws on whatever they're catching out there. Still got some redness in the sky. The sun's not really up yet. And it rises behind me. But I think given another 10 or 15 minutes we'll have full daylight. Trouble is with these iPhone cameras, they're so good that it makes it look like daylight when it's night. And it's actually quite dark still at the moment. But no doubt what you're looking at is what looks like broad daylight. Always love these steps, they're absolutely beautiful. They go down to Terrazza Playa and the beach, and they're right next to Lani's Suites, which we're looking at now. And then across the road we've got his building, which has Serenity on the top and shops underneath. Other gardens on both sides using local plants. And cactuses. Another salon de juegos over there. People having their morning coffee. You'll find them in all the resorts, and as I say, if you want an early breakfast, they're a good shout. Bungalows Velasquez have done some interesting stuff with their gardens here. There's a little train in there, made from old barrels. That looks rather nice, and I like the way the gardens are laid out. Kiosco on the right, getting the chairs out and ready for opening. So they must open fairly early then, because it's still only 10 to 8. This is a phenomenon we get quite often when it's very hot and we have high pressure around the island. You can see that sort of bank of sea fog and cloud. It never comes into the island, it just sort of hangs around in a circle around the outside of it. Got the deck chair man there putting his chairs and sombreros out, ready for the day. I've had loads of questions this week about the transport strike, which apparently has made the UK press, who are bigging it up as they do. The regular public buses are running normally, taxis are running normally. What it does affect is the tourist buses, so the buses that go on excursions, airport pickups and stuff like that. I'm kind of hoping that it'll be resolved in the next few days. These things tend to be, and it'll be a non-story by the time you watch this, but it's not having any major effect on the island so far. Everywhere you go, you'll see people clearing rubbish, raking the pecan, cleaning the sand. One of the reasons everything looks so clean here all the time, because a lot of people get up very early and clean it. Quite a few more early morning swimmers on the beach to my left. Lovely time of day to take a swim. and watch the sun coming up. The sun's just about to peek over behind the buildings over there. This, of course, is Long Beach, the bar restaurant. You might recall a video we did, oh, I don't know, year and a half ago, showing it while it was still in construction, fully open now, developing a good reputation for itself. That's their restaurant menu. The red carpet's looking a bit grubby. They might need to get another one of those and clean it more often. I'm just going to step up to the platform here and have a look at the view. Great sign that. I imagine it's all over Instagram with people taking selfies with the view behind. And you can see the restaurant bit has a floor in it, a normal floor, but this sort of cocktail area is a sandy beach, which is quite nice. Sunbeds are already out on this beach. Another little fishing boat out there. And I can just about, with the naked eye, make out the buoys for the Ironman swim course. You can see the sand has all been raked, ready for the new day. Tractors go down there and they pick up the trash and then rake the sand every day, so it starts off nice and smooth. The person there replacing the bin bags in the public bins. And there's our little fishing boat we saw earlier. And here we are at the famous Playa Grande, just as the sun is hitting the buildings at the far end of the beach. Deck chair guys putting up the umbrellas or sombreros. The sky is beautiful. There's the sun. And I've reached where we were heading for. So I hope you've enjoyed my nostalgic trip down memory lane while the sun was coming up here in Puerto del Carmen. Temperature's already climbing, so I'm going to head for some air conditioning. Have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.